Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Wednesday. As we prepare to close out Women's History Month, I have a few women entrepreneurs here to talk a little bit about their businesses, share their journey to entrepreneurship, and tell us why they're so passionate about what it is that they're doing and what helps keep them motivated. So, without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Toi Lynn, and joining me today are three incredible entrepreneurs who are focused on their craft and bringing you some of the best services and products around. So please allow me to introduce these wonderful ladies. First up, my guest is a licensed esthetician, aesthetics instructor, and makeup artist. She has over 15 years of experience in the aesthetics and beauty industries, and her passion is to help others achieve and maintain the health of their skin. Please help me welcome owner of Bellissima Skin Artistry, Miss Carla Jones.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
Carla.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm really
Thank
excited.
you.
Really excited.
Thank you so much for joining me. Next up, after years of trial and error with different recipes for cakes and other delectable items, time spent perfecting her craft, she finally stepped out on faith and started her own business. Today, she offers a ranges of desserts from candied apples to gourmet cheesecakes. Please help me welcome the owner of Cakes by Q, Miss LaQuaintes King. Hi, Miss Q. How you doing?
Hello.
And finally, even in the midst of the pandemic, my next guest identified a need for natural supplements and found a way to establish her business and begin to promote health and wellness by helping others improve their physical and mental health. Please help me welcome owner of Moss Life, Miss Sherrise Moore.
Hello.
Hi, Sherrise.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. I am so happy to have all of you ladies here today. I'm excited for everyone to hear about your journey to entrepreneurship. So let's talk about it, won't we? So first up, I just want you ladies to give everyone kind of an overview of your business, share what services or products you offer, and how you got started in your industry. So Carla, we'll start with you. How did you get involved with the skincare industry, and what service and products do you offer?
Okay, well, I started in the beauty industry literally over 15 years ago. I started off as a freelance makeup artist, working for MAC Cosmetics. I would do that part-time because my full-time job was in human resources. So I've always had an interest in makeup, skincare, always the one experimenting, putting nair on my face for facial hair removal. So then right at the age of 46, I decided to really pursue my passion, which is skincare. And I enrolled in cosmetology school. And from that point, right after I graduated, I started Bellissima Skin Artistry, and I'm getting ready to roll into my fourth year.
Wow.
Awesome.
I provide facials, full body waxing, facial waxing, and also makeup. My specialty is corrective skincare. So ladies and gentlemen who are dealing with hyperpigmentation and age management services, that's my specialty.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Miss Q, when did you discover your love for baking, and what are some of your fan favorites?
Probably when I was about 8 years old, my mom purchased me an Easy Bake Oven.
Oh,
And I thought it was like pure magic that you can bake a cake and it tastes really good. And then my aunties, they're really good bakers. And my auntie Jeanette makes a really good pound cake. So I practiced on that. That was the first thing I ever baked. I sold it in church. And I was like, oh, people will pay for a cake, or well, I might want to look into this. So that's where it all really began. Some of the products I offer are birthday cakes, wedding cake, candy apples. The crowd favorites right now are cheesecakes for me. So.
Sounds delicious. Thank you. Now, Miss Sherrise, can you please tell us what exactly is CMOS? How did you get involved in that, and what are some of the benefits of it?
Okay, well, this is sea moss. I just wanted to bring an example of it because a lot of people have asked me what exactly is sea moss. So sea moss is an algae or seaweed that's harvested in the sea. Our bodies are comprised of 102 minerals. Sea moss has 92 minerals. You have to ingest sea moss. So some of the forms that you can create the sea moss in, you can make it into a gel. This is the gel form. Some people take it as in a peel form or in a powdered form. And for decades, people in Ireland and also in Jamaica have been using this. And because it's so many healthy benefits. So some of the benefits is hair growth. It boosts your immune system. It also helps with infertility, helps with your blood pressure. It's a ton of benefits. It also helps with your mental health. So it helps stabilize your moods, and it also helps you to focus.
Excellent. I know a lot of people really could benefit from that, especially during these times that we're in today. So thank you. That sounds great.
Yes.
So when it comes to entrepreneurship, ladies, what sparked your interest in this? Is this something that you've always known that you wanted to do for yourself, or do you come from a family of entrepreneurs and it's something that you saw growing up? What exactly interests you in this field? Ms. LaQuaintes, we'll start with you.
Honestly, I think that growing up, I didn't hear about entrepreneurs. I heard about hustlers. So my family is full of hustlers.
Yes.
So it started there. And my mother always taught me, if you want something or you need something, go out there and get it. And my 9-to-5 wasn't really giving me everything I wanted. So I started doing a little bit extra, and it just blossomed from there.
Awesome. What about you, Sherrise?
Well, I do come from a family of entrepreneurs, just like, you know, everyone doesn't know, but LaQuaintes and I are related. So we have a family full of entrepreneurs, even on my mother's side, just owning car washes to motels to anything. They've always owned businesses. So they've kind of instilled that in our generation. And the way that I kind of got started with my sea moss business, I was very interested in starting a business, but I was unsure what type of business I wanted to start. So I literally just prayed about it. But at the time where I was trying to figure out what type of business I wanted to start, I was also looking for different herbal supplements and treatments to help women with endometriosis and fibroids, because that's what I suffer with. So during the pandemic, the start of the pandemic, my sister introduced me to sea moss. And I started taking it and I was researching it. And I noticed that my health improved, my cycles improved. And so literally, I remember the day, September 6, 2020, I had extra jars of sea moss. And I said, what if I just sold this? I didn't have a business plan. And I didn't have anything, but I know that people kept asking, especially on social media, where can I find sea moss? What are the benefits of it? So I literally just posted it, and my business has been taking off ever since. And that's how I became the owner of Moss Life. So
I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
What about you, Miss Carla?
So my journey to entrepreneurship growing up, people in our families on both sides, my father's side and my mom's side, they own business, but they never really talked about it. So it wasn't a word that was used. Just like LaQuaintes, like you hear about people owning things, but they never really talked about it, or hustling. But they own cleaners, they own real estate. But I never, as a child, thought about entrepreneurship, to be honest with you. My journey to entrepreneurship really started in 2006 when I relocated back to Michigan. I obtained employment at Detroit Entrepreneurship Institute. So for years, I helped other entrepreneurs build their business. And that's when the thought started coming in my mind of maybe this is something I can do. But like Sherrise, I didn't have a specific idea of what I wanted to do. So I just kept doing freelance makeup artistry. And then that morphed into, after I got my aesthetics license, into Bellissima skin artistry, of offering full services. So my journey has been in the background a lot, helping other entrepreneurs, and then now it's my turn to build my own. I sometimes it's uncomfortable because I'm so used to helping others build theirs, to concentrate on mine. It's like, I'm more comfortable doing it the other way, but it's a good way to be out of my comfort zone. So that's how my journey came to owning my own. And I'm still on a journey. It's not, I'm still building and growing and doing the ins and outs. So I enjoy helping others still build their business and help at the same time building mine. So in our families, we do have they just didn't call it entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
They use that word. Now with more people, and I think that's one of the benefits of the pandemic, more people tapped into their talents.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what? Like Sherrise said, what happens if I just sold this? Exactly. Or what happens if I just take the leap? Selling my cakes, cheesecakes. People tapped into those talents and that creativity, and then it like really exploded because we had time.
Yep.
Yes. Nothing but time.
We had nothing but time. So it's a journey that I'm enjoying. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it's invigorating. But for the most part, it gives me a sense of pride of knowing this is something that I can do. So I'm enjoying that. So that's how mine has been a long time coming. So I like the title of your podcast, The Journey.
Yep.
Yes, it is a journey. And I think something that you mentioned is really important is that sometimes we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people are just so comfortable in staying in that same space and they don't want to do anything outside of what is in their comfort zone that may take them to the next level. So I'm so happy that you stepped out and all of you ladies into what your passions are and are being very successful in that. So that's great. One of the other things that a lot of entrepreneurs that I talk with, they talk about them wanting to either start their own business or before they became entrepreneurs. One of the main concerns that they shared was obviously, startup costs. They don't have enough money. How am I going to get the proper resources? Where do I start? I was looking at something that the Ewing Kauffman Foundation published. They're stating that entrepreneurs are underrepresented in policy debates, which leaves policymakers without a true understanding of the unique challenges associated with entrepreneurs. Because of that reason, the foundation has released the Rebuilding Better Request for Funds application, which is currently out now for organizations to apply until April 5th, I believe. The application is intended to support activities that engage a diverse group of entrepreneurs in advocacy and educate policymakers of the challenges of entrepreneurs are facing in America. So what I wanted to get your ladies' thoughts about is when you started, what type of funding did you receive? Is there any type of programs that you all applied for, or are you the sole funders for your business? How did you actually get started? Sherrise, we'll start with you.
I'm the sole funder of my business. I use my own money. In the beginning, my mom did help me. Thank you, Mom. I love you. Hey, Mom. But no, she did help me. She did help me in the beginning, and because she just believed in her daughter, so she wanted to help me out. But from this point on, I'm the sole funder. I do plan to tap into some grants and, for entrepreneurs, especially, they have a lot of grants now for minorities. So I do plan on to tap into those.
And that's a good point. And I think there's a lot of opportunity out there that people don't know about. So a lot of time the stressing over how am I going to be able to afford it, I think you just need to do a little bit of research because there are options out there, especially for, people of color, those in the Black community that are looking to start their own businesses. What about you, Carla?
Well, in the beginning and to this day. Because when in the very beginning of starting my business, I worked full time. And I work part time now as an aesthetics educator. So I work. That's how I fund my business. And like Sherrise family supporting. If they bless me with a check for my birthday, I put it to work for my business. So I bootstrap it. And I think that's important for a lot of entrepreneurs to be encouraged in. Don't feel bad if you have to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes individuals think, I want to launch full time into my business and they feel guilty for still working a full-time job to be able to take care of their bills, take care of their family. So I think as entrepreneurs to help encourage people like not to feel bad about that and not to job shame people for working as they build their business. because what I'm learning is that if you have a flow of income coming in, you can allow your business the space that it needs to grow without worrying about, well, how am I going to purchase business cards or how am I going to host my website? And what you mentioned, Toi, is very important of tapping into resources. And that's one of the things that helped me when I was working at the Detroit Entrepreneurship Institute, was learning how to navigate those systems to tap into resources for entrepreneurs. It's a lot of resources. You have to do a lot of digging and research and networking and talking to people and talking to the right people, because sometimes people don't want to share their plug.
Right.
Knowing good and well somebody else showed them.
Exactly.
So, information, going to the public library. I don't know if they're open yet, but the Southfield Public Library has a business section that's full of resources, and the librarians will help you access that information. So just bootstrapping and working, pouring money, profits I do make, pour it back into my business. And I'm thankful for all the support from clients, people purchase products on my website during the pandemic because nobody could work. So I work. I work full time. Like I work until this.
And I like the fact that you said that, because a lot of people don't understand the importance of trying to build your business if you already have a 9-to-5 and still continuing to work. Because what time you put into your job from 9 to 5, then that just means you go extra hard from 7 to 12 or whatever time frame you cut out for yourself to build your own business. You have to put just as much effort into that as you're giving your employer. So great point. Thank you. What about you, Miss Q?
Well,
Look at Miss.
It's been all me. It's been, I'm not, you know what, let me take that back. It's been a favor of God, not just all me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I do have family and friends who will donate me sugar and eggs and butter. But as far as the mixers I needed, boxes and stuff like that, business cards, that's been totally funded by my 9-to-5 job. And the profits that were made from me selling my products.
That's good.
We have to do that. Year. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So the most crucial time for a business is within the first 5 years. So as you look back over, the first year, I know Sherrise, you just launched since the pandemic started. The other ladies have been going a little longer. So as you look back over the years, the first 5 years that you launched your business, what were some of the challenges you faced during the growing phase, and how did you overcome them? LaQuaintes, let's start with you.
Probably time management. Learning how to balance work, life, and business all together. That was the biggest challenge for me, because I would be up all night baking and decorating cakes and then be tired. So that was one of my biggest challenges. And probably always believing in myself, because in the cake world, it's a lot of, how can I put it? It's cliquish. And then, people expect you to be on the level of a cake boss or, some fancy cake decorator, and you're not there yet.
Right.
So a lot of times some self-doubt crept in sometimes. So it was like the challenge was just continue to believe in yourself and realize that you'll find your niche that'll cause you to stand out. So
That's
exactly. Sherrise, what about you?
I would say one of my challenges, well, just like LaQuaintes, time management, because I do work a full-time job as well. And also just trying to get my name out there, just trying to promote my business, because there are so many people that sell sea moss. And so I had to figure out what would make me stand out, So thankfully, my friends and family, they were able to promote my business on social media, on their own pages. Juicing with Jay allowed me to sell sea moss when she was having a sea moss challenge. Rakima Edwards at Foxy Lady Boutique also allowed me to sell sea moss. So it was just at her store. So it was just really the biggest challenge was just getting myself out there and how can I stand out?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see how that would be a little difficult. I'm thankful you had those ladies that, again, were sisterhood and were there to support you because they themselves probably knew what it was like to start their own entrepreneurship journey.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, Miss Carla, what about you?
That is so true. Tagging along with LaQuaintes and Sherrise said, my biggest challenge was consistency in the beginning. Being consistent, especially with social media. I'm horrible with posting on social media. Being consistent and a work-life balance because I enjoy working. So I have to always be mindful of, okay, you do have to take a break sometimes to catch your breath because you can be more creative when you're rested. So that was a big challenge for me, leaving work and then going straight into my business and putting in hours and then waking up the next morning, 6 a.m. and starting all over again. Right. So really consistency with promoting and marketing, like getting my name out there. But again, I have not done this by myself. I had family members, friends who would repost flyers, word of mouth. I got a lot of clients in the beginning, word of mouth. And some of my clients, I didn't even know who they were. And the person who referred them had never came. They just told them, like, go, this is my friend. So I really appreciate all my friends and family who've supported from the beginning because there are days you do have self-doubt of saying, like, what? I remember one day asking myself, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? I asked myself that when I was enrolled in cosmetology school. Like, you are the oldest person in your class. Like, what? But I would get over it, but you do have those moments. So my biggest challenges was just that consistency and push. Just don't feel like doing something, do it anyways. And if you're too tired to do it, take a nap.
Yep.
That's okay. It's okay to take a rest and get that work.
Sure is. Yeah, I like that because we're always our own worst critic. So we just have to be, think positive thoughts and go from there.
Right.
So in that same context, when you look back, whether it's marketing, I know, Carla, you mentioned that, whether it's product offerings, whether it's logistics, is there anything that you think you ladies would have done differently? And if so, what would it have been and why? Sherrise, we'll start with you.
I don't think there's too much I would have done differently. I think everything that I've done has kind of fell into place. It happened the way it was supposed to happen. Just learn. I've been learning. It's been a learning process, being a new business owner. So I just try to take advice from people, but I wouldn't change anything because I feel like I've learned and I'm still learning from everything. So.
Awesome. LaQuaintes?
Pretty much what Sherrise just said. I wouldn't change anything because I think everything happens when it's supposed to happen in divine order. So,
Amen. Miss Carla?
I would change one thing. I would have changed doing things earlier. Only because there were times I wanted to go to cosmetology school to become an esthetician earlier, but I always talked myself out of it. And then it was just kind of at a point like this desire is not going away. So even the day I enrolled in cosmetology school, I tried to procrastinate. I said, well, if they don't have a class that starts in December, I'll just wait till the spring. You have a class that starts December 4th, and you can come on your lunch break and fill out the application. I was like, so I would change that of having more confidence to do it when I really, would have done it. But again, things happen in divine order because as an older aesthetic student, I think I was more focused and more determined because I did have a full-time job and realized like I don't have a 20-year, like if a 18-year-old is enrolled and I'm 46, like they will graduate and have 20 years by the time they turn 40 in their career. So I have not ground to make up, but to be more efficient and more effective and more focused. So I think being older has helped me become more focused. So things do happen when they need to happen. And I think just embracing that journey part, that's why I love the topic of the podcast, because it is a journey. Like one day you may think this is not the right day, but then something happens that we encourage you to say, like, this is why it happened now and not 10 years ago. So just learn how to embrace the day that things are happening when they need to happen.
I love that. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. So, of course, we're all still in this pandemic environment, and with several businesses temporarily shutting down or others closing permanently, a lot of businesses having restrictions placed on them. As you've made your way through the past 12 months, what impact has the pandemic had on your business, if any at all? And what safety protocols have you had to implement, whether it's the services that you're providing or delivery to your customers? What type of changes have you had to implement? Ms. Q, we'll start with you.
Well, food, you have to always be safe, so that people won't get sick. So the transition wasn't hard for me. I always wear gloves when I'm baking, wrapping things the correct temperature. So I really didn't have to change much, but my business did grow due to the fact that a lot of bakeries were closed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
People came to me still needing cakes and stuff for their parties. So that helped me out a lot.
Awesome. Sherrise?
Well, I started my business during a pandemic. So, people were looking for different ways to improve their immune system. So, for me, actually, the pandemic helped me. So it actually helped my business, but it has. But and when I prepare the sea moss, of course, I wear gloves, I wear a mask because you just want to be careful. But it's been going well for me during the pandemic.
Thank you.
I love that. Right. Carla, what about you?
The challenge, like you said earlier, a portion we weren't able to work. Salons, spas were closed down. But the blessing in my life, I got my aesthetics instructor license during right before the pandemic hit. So we switched to online learning. So throughout the entire pandemic, I was working every day from home, which I had always prayed for. Like, Lord, I want to work from home. And my commute was literally 10 seconds away from my little makeshift office. So the shift for the beauty industry as a whole, the pandemic was a good thing. It shifted us to become up to date with technology. Most cosmetology schools do hybrid curriculums, whereas everything had to be done in person. So the pandemic was a blessing because it helped elevate the industry as a whole. Protocols that I used prior to COVID are the same. They're enhanced because we are required by law to wear gloves, to sanitize, disinfect. I was wearing masks periodically prior to COVID. Like if I have allergies, so I would wear a mask. So a lot of things that are required now, the beauty industry, we're required to do that, period. No. So now people are more, I think the customers are more heightened awareness of what's to happen because of the CDC and things of that nature. But those are things we've been doing. But I think the pandemic really was a blessing because it helped elevate the industry as a whole. And it made me boost up my website, start selling products online. And people were buying retail products online. I was like, what took you so long, girl? Doing virtual consultations. That's in the industry that was not happening a lot. But since the pandemic, now it is a legit service that a lot of licensed estheticians are offering, virtual consultations. So it has really helped fine tune and elevate our industry and forced a lot of us out of our comfort zones. It forced me out of a comfort zone. I love background, but pandemic, you had to be on camera every day on Zoom. So it helped me with my technological skills as well. So thank you, pandemic. It helped push a lot of us forward.
Yeah.
The things we wanted to do business-wise.
And that's good. I'm glad you ladies were able to, in some ways, adjust and continue doing things and still be able to have success during this time. So I'm very happy to hear about that. One quote that I see Miss Q say often is that entrepreneurship is not for the weak. And it is not, especially if you're a one-woman army or one-person army. Everything falls on you. So when situations seem tough and you feel like giving up or you don't know how you're going to proceed, what or who motivates you to keep going? What's your why to get up in the morning and continue on with your business? Sherrise, we'll start with you.
What motivates me is my family and my friends. They give me those pep talks, keep going, even when business seems like it's slowing down. They just motivated me to keep going. And also just everyone that purchases CMOS from me, the customers, when they tell me how it's benefiting them and how they're seeing an improvement in their health, that motivates me. That makes me, want to get up and keep going with my business. Because there are a lot of days when I work my 9 to 5, I'm tired, but I got to go ahead and, work on my business. But, just everyone, my customers and my family and my friends, they keep motivating me to keep going.
That's good. Miss Carla?
What motivates me, number my faith.
Yeah.
A scripture that really carried me. There was 2 scriptures that carried me through the pandemic. The first one was, you have not because you ask not. Whatever it is you need, ask him for, ask the Lord for it.
Amen.
Don't be afraid to ask. If it even sometimes we'll get intimidated, think, well, that's too big or it's too little. No matter what, you're asking for it. And then the second one was that you can do all things through Christ. He's my strength. So when I do feel tired, like, Lord, I need you to be my strength because I'm tired. And also what motivates me is knowing that I can contribute and help other individuals either maintain or gain healthy skin, but most importantly, just a healthy life. Just encouraging people, empowering people to live their best life. Because for me, this is not just skincare. It really is, caring for people, especially during the pandemic. A lot of people, I've had clients when they finally did decide to return, like if they were isolated by themselves, going to the spa or going to get their hair done or their nails done, that was their outing, their way of interacting with other human beings. So to be quarantined for months and months on end, that made an impact. Sherrise mentioned it earlier, on their mental health. So getting back out to doing things that they love to do and then interacting with positive people. That's what motivates me. Surrounding yourself around winners. LaQuaintes said it best, it's not for the weak. And get around other people who understand entrepreneurship, because you don't want to share your vision with people who will encourage you to quit.
Yeah.
Like I may say, Sherrise, today was one of those days. It was just really hard and difficult. Her being an entrepreneurship, she can say, entrepreneur, she'll say, well, it is hard, but, why don't you take a quick break and come back in 15 minutes and revisit it? As opposed to, well, yeah, it is hard. I don't know why you want to do this. You should just quit and just do something else. Yeah. So surround yourself around people who can be encouragers and people who understand vision.
Yeah.
People who understand vision. Everybody can't see it. They don't understand it. So surrounding yourself around other winners.
Absolutely. I love that. Miss LaQuaintes, what about you?
My biggest supporter will be my mom. She makes me think I can do anything I want to do.
That's mom
normally do.
Come through, moms.
I can call her and be like, Mom, I burnt this cake. Well, start over again. So my mom, my twin brother, he's my taste tester. My family are really big supporters. I have a really strong circle of female friends that are constantly pushing me. I have a strong faith, and like Carla said, I read Philippians 4:13 every day. That keeps me going. So that's what it is. And just knowing that a gift that God gave me is making people happy. Because who don't like cake?
Whoever does not like cake, I don't know what it is. I like it. And what LaQuaintes said, like family support, encouragement. I mean, people calling randomly, just or like I was thinking about you or I was praying for you. That stuff goes a long way. Support of family and friends and people just checking on you during this pandemic to help you, encourage you not to give up on your dream. Because it's really easy to do that. Because a lot of people do. But my focus is you never know what's going to happen unless you try. Now being an instructor, helping new estheticians understand the industry is not easy. Like the beauty industry is highly competitive. LaQuaintes mentioned that about the cake industry. So you do have to carve out your own area and be comfortable in that and not quit. Like, don't compare yourself to what other people are doing. Like carry your own yardstick. You're always focused on what is your best gift and your talent, and you focus on that and let other people do their thing too.
That's so true. Keep going. Never give up. I'm proud of you, ladies. So in October of 2020, Forbes reported that Black women are among the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs. At that time, Black women represented 42% of new women-owned businesses and 36% of all Black-owned employer businesses. So knowing what it's like to step out on faith and enter into entrepreneurship, what words of advice would you ladies offer to someone looking to take that leap? Sherrise, we'll start with you.
Just do it. If you have a plan, if there's any business that you want to start, sit down and start your business, create your business plan, get any supplies that you need and just do it. Because, it's either going to work or it's not. And if it doesn't work, then sit down, revamp your plan and go from there. So just do it. That's my biggest advice.
Just do it. Carla.
Start. Start.
Yep.
You can start with one product. You can start with one client. You can start with one small idea. Just start. A friend of mine wrote a song years ago called Start Somewhere. Just start. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect time. You don't have to have all your products and everything that you need. Just start. Coming straight out of school, people always tell you, you shouldn't launch your own. They made us do a spot project, and I use that as my business plan. It's like, I have to start in order for bigger doors to open. I have to start small. So just get started. I'm like Sherrise, start. And surround yourself around people who will encourage you to keep going when the going gets tough.
Yep. Absolutely. Ms. LaQuaintes.
Same. Just start. The hardest thing to do is to start something. And stay motivated. And don't compare yourself to nobody else.
Don't.
That is so true.
Don't compare. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's talents and gifts. Even though it may be, like Sherrise said, there's a lot of people selling sea moss, but people are going to buy it from her because they like her. So there's only one her. So it doesn't matter if it's 500 million cake makers. I like LaQuaintes cake. So I like her. So staying focused on that and believing in yourself when the days get tough, because you will have days where you feel like I had asked myself, what are you doing? I was like, what are you doing? But then just realize like you can do this, back off certain things and then promote other things, but you can do this. God has given you a great mind. He is the author of creativity. You have access to that creativity.
Amen. And I love that. I love that the theme is actually just start. Whatever you're thinking about, just start it. And I'm so happy that you ladies started your businesses. And I also want to take some time to shout out some other ladies that I know that are doing great things. Some entrepreneurs, some have just started that I know, and some have been in the business for a while. So first up, I just want to shout out Miss Bashira. She's actually the owner of Unique Body Boutique. It's an online clothing store where I actually purchased this shirt dress that I have on that I'm wearing here. And ladies, she offers sizes small to 3X. So make sure you check her out. I'll actually include her information as well. Next, there's a young lady. Her name is Shannon Rucker. She's designer and owner of Bag Crush. And y'all, she hand stitches her bags herself.
That's nice.
So here's my clutch here, and it has a super amazing interior that I love inside.
Oh,
so she does all of this.
I like that.
Right. So really dope. So she does all of that by hand. So make sure you check her out. She offers everything from like belt bags, from clutches to hobo bags. So really dope items there. And then last but not least is Miss LaShawn Gray. She's a jack of all trades. She does everything from apparel design to shoes. She's got you covered with party favors, including diaper cakes and water bottles and chip bags. She's the owner of LaJay's Creation, and she actually just did a few Easter baskets for me. So she's very creative. So I'll make sure that I include all of their information for the replay here. But I really do think it's important what you ladies said throughout this entire discussion is that it's very important for us to support one another. Surround yourself with people who are supportive, people that are going to motivate you, people that aren't going to bring you down, like you mentioned, Carla, someone that's going to talk you out of moving forward with what you have to do and what you have going on. So with that being said, I know everyone's excited about the information you shared and your businesses and your products. So why don't you tell them, the people, where they'll be able to find you? How can they get in contact with you? Ms. Carla.
They can get in contact with me. My phone number is 248-907-0209, and through my website. My website is bellissimaskinartistry.com, and it's the same on Instagram, Bellissima Skin Artistry on Instagram. You can leave me a direct message. Then I'm also located inside of Nail Bytes in downtown Farmington. So you can stop by. Love to see you today.
Excellent. Ms. LaQuaintes, how can the people find you?
They can reach me on Instagram, Q the Cake Lady, or you can text me at 248-470-1767.
Awesome. And Ms. Sherrise?
Well, you can reach me on Instagram at Moss_Life_906. I'm sorry. That's not it. It's Moss_Life_LLC_906. You can email me at mosslifellc@gmail.com, or you can call me at 313-296-1798.
Awesome. Again, I am so excited for you ladies. I am so happy for your success, and I pray continued success and growth for your businesses. I thank you for joining me this evening to talk about your journey to entrepreneurship. I will definitely see you all in the near future for your products and services. So until next time, love you ladies. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Toi.
Thank you.
We had a great time. Thank you.
Yes, you too. See you later.
Bye.